All right. So quick lunch break episode today. We're gonna go to crim. Hopefully it will be fast because I need to get back to work. So let's get to it. So crim, realistically, it just held up by a really strong core of cards, and then there's like slightly different takes on it. Uh, I'm going to just kind of open up some decks, just kind of showcase. But realistically, uh, you will see that there's a really good core of cards. Well, I guess we can talk about Mercury again at some point, as well as some point, just because Robin is crazy good at it. Mosley Hat existed before it stopped existing, and then it's just a lot of different kinds of Sable, and we will be talking about Sable a lot. And then there's also Saya things which are very fun. I remember this one, so we can take a look. All right, so we're just opened a bunch of lists, starting with Az. We will see. So most crims will be just held up by run events, as of course discounting your connection resource and hardware is one of the exceptions. So we're just on getaway, gamble, and transfer of wealth. Looking at the resources, there's a good shot that if it's not a kill matchup, we just never clear the transfer tags, which is always really good value. And I mean, as we're doing as things, we have 3 masterwork, 2 Chesva, 2 fermenter, 2 cataloger, which takes up a lot of influence. And we're just looking to instant speed install a bunch of tricks, pressure the corp economically, and then just go for really big digs on R&D with cataloger, wake. And we're even doing more kind of econ warfare things, playing Cascade all over a good code gate breaker. This is not a medalist, but hey, 13th New Year's Showdown. Obviously, something was working. Pan wave as well, kind of crazy. But yeah, badge is for asset respect. But yeah, this is a very hardware heavy version that relies on just kind of squeezing those chesvas for as much value as you can get with the masterwork install, because you can pay for the masterwork install since you're in the middle of a run with the chesva credits, and that's just a lot of really good value. Then we get Baz and Alpi. I love this list. Is duplicate of itself? What? Don't know why it's not loading. But this list, seeing it work at Worlds was just really, really fun. Uh, I guess I'll talk about it later when it finishes loading. Thank you, Wi-Fi. Are all the decks just not gonna load? Okay, sure. We can talk about what happened to Muslihat. So, Muslihat, a runner that pretty much draws the top card of your deck if it's a run event or an icebreaker. This turned out to be pretty good, especially when combined with Matryoshka. Matryoshka is an icebreaker and it's an AI, and it's meant to like stack well with itself. So it's like every time you break a piece of ice, you flip one over. At start turn, you flip them all back. And Muslihat was really the best deck at using Matryoshkas, just because you could like easily draw almost like card every turn for free, doing a really good like Hosh cosplay of like a really good value runner. And this was just Matryoshkas, backup revolver so you don't get like staff ruined and stuff like that, and a backup Marjana for like breaking Semax and things like that. And this was one of the great things of Matryoshka, is that you could play just a fuck ton of Chesviz, because your entire rig fits onto a Mew. And so if you don't need to worry about staff runs, or like if you're in like a fair matchup like Elio, you can just install 3 Chesva and drip like 6 a turn. And then you would just close the game with twinning. Of course, you have to be really, really tight on what non-hits on like what whiffs you play in Musli Hat because they're all really really bad. So Chesva, Hermes, Mystic, and Twinning were the cuts, were like what made the cut. Musli Hat has kind of fallen off the face of the earth ever since the Matryoshka ban, cause crim needs a lot of card draw to actually find to play the game and find its breakers. And the only good way to do that is kind of Nuka at the moment, or Ritual, I suppose, but Nuka mostly, and that's a whiff. And so, like, all of the reasons to play Musli Hat over Sable, as we will see later, kind of disappeared. So, yeah, Musli Hat was great this season. I don't expect, yeah, I don't think you should expect a lot of Musli Hat going into districts, but what you should expect is a lot of Sable going into districts. Sable is kind of the reg runner, like even more than Reg Hosh that we talked about last time. Reg Hosh is a bit more of a setup deck. You need, to install all of your Rezekis, and then you're just in this endgame situation when you're dripping a million credits a turn. Criminal, on the other hand, says, fuck all of your recurring credits. I'm just gonna make a bajillion credits right now. Like, all of the run events make you interact so nicely with the corp. And this is actually what Tyrus got second at CBI with. It's a really good list, and it's a lot more aggressive than your average Sable list. It's packing a lot more multi-access. We're on 3 Jailbreak. Wake, pretty merry to synergize with Jailbreak and with Eru. Only 2 class sack, the 3 nukas that I was talking about, Twinning and Wake. So it's like we are trying to see a bajillion cards ASAP, reprise Ice on the same turn that we steal agendas, and just go really, really hard, really, really fast. Punish any stumbles, capitalize on scoring windows really, really hard on 3 Hermes. This is a very aggressive tempo runner that obviously works really, really well. Even 2 cups for Ob and Epiphany with Ob, because Scrubs really tends to just hold a bunch of points on HQ. Compilation helps you get all of those points out of HQ. Epiphany, you can trash stuff without trashing stuff, and you dodge oppos, and it's great. And then, yeah, this is just a big old pile of multi-access, and it's really, really good. And we will see that there's kind of course, kind of like Reg Hosh, there's little things that you can change, but the core of Crim was just like a whole bunch of money events. Hermes being an amazing console, usually 3 nukas, bunch of class X on top, and winning. Your breakers are kind of suspicious sometimes. Of course, Kurupura is not the best, Shibboleth's not the best, but they are workable. Revolver is a good backup, and Carmen is your long-term killer. And 2 Chesvis are enough to just get all of the value out of your Sable runs every turn. This is really really good. Like, if I was playing a tournament tomorrow, this is probably something I would bring just cause you will just like ideally not even get in a really complicated end game board. If you can avoid it, you can just kind of send it early and often, and force any stumble of the corp will just result in you stealing an agenda, bouncing a nice, reprising something else, and just pushing and pushing and pushing the advantage. And yeah, I'm surprised that this counts as Grey Nutrient Paste. I would say this is already spicy for Grey Nutrient Paste. So here we have another take, Santa, which is like another deck builder that I love. They made like the Barf Tool deck, which is like one of the most creative and toxic combo kill decks that I played before rotation. I absolutely love it. I wish I had more time to play it because I kind of only started playing it at the end just before rotation. Okay, this is not loading, so fuck you. Come on. Can I get a deck list? Oh my god, this was already loaded and I reloaded it. Okay, we're just jumping a bit all over the place. Oh, okay, there we go. We can go back to Baz. I don't know why this is... oh yeah, this was just somebody copying it. So yeah, Baz As you can see, a very similar list of events, like all of the good run events. With the exception, we're playing, of course, cards that synergize with Baz. So, Wind of Opportunity triggers Baz multiple times if they res on the run, or not if just it's a free res and like an inside job for 1 credit, which is and an install, which is like really good money, really good crit compression. Only 1x of each breaker, which is a bit scary if you lose them to damage. But since we're Baz, we're on 3 boomerang, 3 penny shaver actually. Okay, because this is like to deal with assets, because assets, of course, bad matchup for Baz because they're not gonna res that much ice, and you really don't want to like wind of opportunity like small ice usually. But yeah, this is just leveraging Baz to install a bunch of class acts, a bunch of no free lunches. I would say this is also because Worlds was a really kill heavy meta. Um, uh, yeah, sorry, I was reading the comments. Worlds was a really kill heavy meta, so having 3 in NFL, 2 stone chips, just being able to constantly drop your kill defense to survive false leads, kills, and stuff like that was really good, and this why this was good. I expect Baz to not be as good right now, as you don't have as many relevant resources that you can drop at instant speed, but it's still fun. It's kind of a gimmicky deck. Good players sometimes will just not res and force you to, you know, use your, find your awake until you find your awake or your hero. You have like you're literally just going for singles, but it's interesting. It's a really fun deck at least, and it's kind of more towards the boomerang triple chesvet thing that we saw with ads as well. So, can I finish talking about Sable? Yes. I'm gonna finish talking about Sable, then we can have a little. We can finish this up fast. So, this is Santa's Sable, and here we get into the realm of playing Leech in Sable to fix your breakers. The main problem with Crim breakers is they have kind of shitty breakpoints. Like Shibboleth starts at 3. There's a bunch of 4 strength code gates that you really don't want to pay 2 to boost. Harman starts at 2. There's a bunch of 3 sentries that you don't really want to pay 2 to boost to break. And this is where Leech just kind of comes in and magically fixes all of your math on your breakers. This unassuming little guy just saves you. It's like successful run. If you're playing Crim and the matchup is relevant, it's like successful run. It's like worst case you're saving 1 credit. Best case you're saving 2 credit every successful run. That's crazy. This is like 2 penny shavers worth of value, or like 2 desperados worth of value that can be purged. But if you use it correctly, it just can make a ridiculous amount of money. And this, of course, it's trying to use Ghost Tongue and a bit of spicy stuff like Wake and Zenith to power up a Tremolo, which might be a bit too cute, but I'm all down. I'm down for cute all the time. This is very fun list. Played it a bunch. Of course, when you find Tremolo and you don't have your cybernetics, or worst case is like you have one cybernetic, you have both, and your cybernetic hits the other cybernetic, and you're like shit. Um, but yeah, Ghost Tongue is nice because it's a cybernetic for Tremolo, but yeah, it can do a really kind of old big rig criminal impression. Once you got your free tremolo and your leech and everything is like better cleaver, if you think of it, kind of. Oh my god, tremolo is 2 strength. Oh my god, this card is so bad. I forgot. Tremolo is 2 strength. Okay, I eat up my words. But yeah, okay, then you're really relying on your leech to fix your breakers. But yeah, all in all, fun. Still obviously good. Like it went 3-1, and probably a bit too setupy for the average crim plan, but like good to keep an eye on if we get like other cybernetics in the future with vantage point, or more like strength buff support or things like that. Like there's definitely something going on here that could be good. So this is a more reg crim, if that makes sense. This is kind of what EA Sports are playing. Um, they brought this at Worlds. I think it's actually pretty solid still. I don't see a lot of concessions to kill. Like there's one NFL as a concession to kill, I guess, and wheels. Um, I'm sure that the companions have shifted around since Worlds a little bit because there's not that much kill anymore. But yeah, you see all of the usual culprits. It's Trinuka, it's the twinning, it's a companion, it's one Chesv, which is something that a lot of people are doing now, especially with the Leech. Leech continues to be incredible. A lot of people are playing like Badge or Fencer Fueno, stuff like that to help with the assets matchup. I think those cards are all really good, of course. And yeah, all of the good money events, some number of reprise to help with the Leo matchup, which is usually really bad. And Wake on top of twinning. Yeah, I think right now most crim lists have kind of figured out that 121 Wake is like the sweet spot to be at because you will find one of the two and you can start searching them up. And when you find the other one, you can go for like a build your own deep dive pretty much and win the game usually. And then we get to the Zayas. I'm just gonna take a detour for Mercury. If you don't like playing, if you don't like playing Reg Crim, you don't like thinking about your breakers and making money and all of that, and you just wanna fucking win the game, send it at Centrals. You can just do what the Robin did and go 5-2 with Mercury at Worlds, playing and like being like top of Swiss day one or something like that. Absolutely crazy. Um, love the Robin. Absolutely great human being. I hope I can make it down to the Vienna district this year as well. Great player and super friendly. We can see that it's on double hero just to really make the point clear. We're here for a good time, not a long time. We got Pretty Mary, we got Devadatta drones, and then we got triple cup, and then we got a whole bunch of bypass and maintenance accesses and stuff like that. And we're like, you just need to have triple ice on all of your centrals, otherwise I'm gonna rip your deck apart. Which is a tough ask for a lot of decks. 3 NFL, 2 Stone Chip is the way that this deck didn't die to kill at Worlds, which is actually really good. It's like really, really good tech. And also just synergizes with the plan of just seeing cards and making money. And yeah, you can do Mercury. You will have to you go really hard early, then you bide your time and you do a couple digs at the end and you kill them. It's Mercury. You you see more cards, you win the game. Easy. That's that. And the last criminal that we're gonna talk about is something that's been kind of rolling in the back of my mind, which is Zaya. There's a lot of different builds of Zaya that kind of leverage the fact, hopefully, no, but that should leverage the fact that you can go down to 40 cards, which kind of gives you extra consistency on a lot of stuff. And the Zaya ability, you can really leverage it from some early aggression as well, as we've seen. Crims are kind of the kings or queens, I guess, of tempo. Hermes, all of the ways they can force the corp to res stuff while making money and then transferring them whilst they're even lower. Like Crims are just made to get an early lead and then just ride that early lead into a victory. So Zaya with jailbreaks, Ritual and Steelskin are interesting draw considerations over Nuka. I guess because the plan is that we are never ever clearing the tags. We're transfer of welting, and then we're just installing Manuel and just starting to see a bunch of cards. So that's why we don't want Nukas, because they will just get trashed. But yeah, triple boomerang, and then just a pretty tight list. Sucks that it can't be like my EA Sports persona is getting triggered that it's not 40 cards. I would be looking to find a cut or two, but I mean, like, what the fuck do I know? It's like I'm not King of Swiss at the New Year's Showdown, so this obviously was working. Um, and then, of course, deck made by one of my favorite deck builders and persons in the Netrunner community, Paul Colga, fellow Italian Netrunner player, always makes the spiciest stuff known to mankind. And yeah, it always does really, really well. It's in this particular Zaya deck is a 3 Marjana Rising Tide Expect Works Lilipad Q-Loop Simulchip Zaya that's like almost closer to like those Masterwork kickflippy decks that we saw before, somewhere between that and the Mulch somehow. Uh, like yes, exactly. This is like absolutely not Mulch, but it is kind of similar to Mulch in the way that you end up winning the game by just like grinding the corp out of resources. Anyways, I absolutely love this deck. It's a hard deck to play over the course of a big tournament, but I mean, if you do, you do, and more power to you. It's a great deck that will reward you if you become a Q-Loop master. And yeah, love Koga, love this list. I guess we can just take a look at the last one, and I'll get back to work. So this list, I completely missed. I just taking a quick look. We can see 2 Biobands, 3 Steel Skin, and pretty much the same core as the other kind of stylist that we saw. It's like 2 Manuel. We're never clearing transfer tags. Exactly the same breaker suite. So yeah, this is kind of like the same kind of self-defense tag Midzaya that King Solomon used to play before rotation. And yeah, I would say I'm just gonna quickly go back, take a look at Crim. We talked about As. They do masterwork tricks most of the time, sometimes knick-knack stuff. Baz, we talked about Alpi's deck, absolutely great. Mercury, the Robin, just bypass, win the game. Muslihat got nuked from Orbit with the Matryoshka ban. Stable, gonna be like 90% of the Crim you see realistically. And Zaya is like people that are being either aggressive or very spicy. And yeah, that's the current state of criminal and standard. And I'm gonna get back to work. See you guys soon. Bye.